The person who feels stuck in life, who knows things need to change but can't seem to make different choices, who watches others transform while remaining trapped in familiar patterns, often doesn't recognize they're standing at the threshold of what Joseph Campbell called the hero's journey, a universal pattern of transformation that appears across cultures, mythologies, and individual lives. The journey doesn't begin with readiness or confidence. It begins with disruption, with the call to adventure that shatters the comfortable ordinary world and demands movement toward the unknown. But here's the paradox. Most people refuse the call repeatedly, not because they don't want change, but because transformation requires dying to who you've been, and that death feels more threatening than remaining stuck. The hero's journey isn't about becoming extraordinary through special powers or unique circumstances. It's the psychological pattern that structures how any person moves from one version of themselves to another, from unconsciousness to awareness, from fragmentation to integration. Understanding this structure reveals why change feels impossible until suddenly it becomes inevitable, why you can't skip stages no matter how urgently you want different results, and why the very obstacles that seem designed to stop you are actually the mechanisms through which transformation occurs. The pattern shows up across contexts with recognizable consistency. Someone stays in a career they outgrown, feeling increasingly miserable but unable to leave because the alternative is unknown and terrifying. Every day the voice gets louder. This isn't working anymore. Something has to change. But they keep showing up, keep performing the role, keep waiting for the right moment that never arrives. In relationships, someone knows the dynamic is unhealthy, recognizes the patterns aren't serving anyone, but the fear of being alone or starting over keeps them frozen in place. The call to adventure shows up as dissatisfaction, as the growing sense that the life you've built doesn't fit who you actually are, as the repeated crises or losses that make continuing as before impossible. At work, the call might be getting fired, reaching a point of complete burnout, or encountering an opportunity that requires risk. In personal development, it's the breakdown, the depression that won't lift through normal coping, the relationship ending that forces examination of patterns you've been avoiding for years. The internal experience involves specific contradictions. There's recognition that change is necessary, combined with powerful resistance to taking the first step. The mind generates endless reasons why now isn't the right time. You need more money saved, more skills developed, more certainty about the outcome before you can begin. There's shame at feeling stuck when others seem capable of change. The comparison that makes your own paralysis feel like personal failure rather than normal stage in transformation process. There's loneliness in knowing something fundamental needs to shift, but not knowing how to make it happen. Watching yourself repeat patterns you've sworn to stop. Feeling trapped between a past that no longer works and a future that hasn't yet taken shape. And underneath runs terror of the unknown, the deep primal fear that leaving the familiar, even when the familiar is painful, means annihilation rather than transformation. The resistance isn't weakness or lack of courage. It's appropriate response to genuine psychological death that transformation requires. Campbell identified the monomyth, the single story underlying all hero myths across cultures, through studying religious traditions, folklore, and mythology worldwide. The pattern consists of three major phases: departure, initiation, and return. Departure begins in the ordinary world where the future hero lives an unconscious or unsatisfying existence. The call to adventure disrupts this equilibrium, presenting challenge or opportunity that can't be ignored. But the initial response is refusal of the call. The hero resists, makes excuses, tries to return to normal. Only through meeting a mentor or helper, or through circumstances that make refusal impossible, does the hero cross the threshold into the unknown, the special world where transformation occurs. This crossing represents commitment, the moment when return to old life becomes impossible or unacceptable. Initiation comprises the heart of the journey. The hero encounters tests, allies, and enemies, challenges that require developing new capacities and revealing character. The road of trials teaches lessons that couldn't be learned in the ordinary world. Each test is designed to develop specific quality or capacity the hero will need for what comes next. The hero approaches the endmost cave, the place of greatest danger where the supreme ordeal waits. This ordeal represents confrontation with death, literal, psychological, or symbolic, where the hero must face their greatest fear, their shadow, or the antagonist. Success in the ordeal brings the reward, the elixir, the boon, treasure both literal and metaphorical that represents new consciousness, healing, or power. But possessing the reward doesn't complete the journey. The hero must travel the road back, returning to the ordinary world to bring what was gained in service rather than keeping it separate. The return phase includes resurrection, a final test where the hero must prove they've integrated the lessons of the journey, demonstrating transformation through action. Only after this final ordeal can the hero return with the elixir, bringing the wisdom, healing, or treasure gained through the journey back to serve the ordinary world. The return completes the circle, but the hero is fundamentally changed, what Campbell called the freedom to live, the ability to exist without fear of death because one has already died and been reborn psychologically. This freedom isn't invulnerability or permanent arrival. It's the capacity to face future calls to adventure without the paralyzing terror that characterized the first refusal. The adaptive function of this pattern is clear. Human development requires leaving known structures and venturing into unknown territory where new capacities can develop. The infant must leave the womb. The child must leave dependence on parents. The adolescent must leave childhood identity. The adult must repeatedly leave established versions of self as life circumstances and internal development demand. Evolution. Each transition follows hero's journey structure because psychological transformation requires specific conditions. You can't develop new capacities while remaining in circumstances that don't demand them. The tests and ordeals aren't obstacles to transformation, they're the mechanisms through which it occurs. Comfort doesn't produce growth. Challenge, properly scaled and supported, creates the conditions where dormant capacities activate and new ones develop. The risk of refusing the call indefinitely is remaining frozen in ordinary world that has become prison. Someone might spend decades in career, relationship, or identity that stopped fitting years ago, the gap between authentic self and performed role widening until depression, anxiety, or physical illness force the journey that was being avoided. Or they might take partial journeys, changing external circumstances, new job, new city, new partner, without undergoing internal transformation, which means the same patterns recreate themselves in new settings. The ordeal can't be bypassed. Trying to skip to the reward without facing the supreme test means remaining unchanged, accumulating techniques or knowledge without genuine transformation. The social dynamics of the hero's journey show how transformation affects relationships. When someone crosses the threshold, leaving behind ordinary world, those still inhabiting that world often resist. Family members might sabotage the journey, not out of malice, but because someone's transformation destabilizes established roles and dynamics. Friends might withdraw because the hero's changes threaten their own stagnation or challenge their beliefs about what's possible. Workplaces that benefited from the hero's old patterns might push back against new boundaries or capacities. This resistance is predictable stage, the threshold guardian who tests commitment to the journey. The hero must proceed despite this resistance, recognizing that not everyone will understand or support transformation, that some relationships will end and new alliances will form. Allies appear during initiation phase, people, circumstances, or internal resources that support the journey. These aren't saviors who complete the journey for the hero, but companions and guides who provide what's needed at specific stages. A therapist might serve as mentor during early phases. A friend going through similar transformation might be ally during trials. Books, teachings, or practices might provide tools the hero needs. But the ordeal must be faced alone. No ally can undergo that confrontation for the hero. This is the dark night of the soul, the descent into underworld, the facing of death or deepest fear, where the hero discovers whether they have what it takes to continue. The support system can hold space, but the actual confrontation happens in solitude. Micro-scenarios illustrate the stages. Someone receives a call to adventure through getting fired unexpectedly. The initial response is panic and refusal. How could this happen? What did I do wrong? I need to find another job exactly like this one immediately. But a mentor figure, perhaps a coach or therapist, helps them recognize the firing as opportunity to examine whether that career path ever truly fit. They cross the threshold by deciding to use this disruption to explore different directions rather than immediately replacing the old job with identical version. The road of trials involves testing different possibilities, facing fears about money and identity, encountering people who judge their choices. The ordeal comes when savings are depleted and real choice must be made. Return to safety of familiar career or commit fully to new direction without guarantee of success. Choosing the new path despite terror represents death of old identity and beginning of resurrection. Returning with elixir means bringing new skills, perspective, or way of being back to serve others, perhaps by modeling that career change is possible or by using new capacities in work that couldn't have existed before the journey. Another scenario involves someone whose call to adventure is breakdown of long-term relationship. Refusal of call looks like desperately trying to save relationship through same strategies that haven't worked, refusing to acknowledge it's over. Meeting mentor might be a friend who gently reflects that holding on is preventing both people from moving forward. Crossing threshold happens when they finally accept the ending and begin process of separation. Tests include navigating loneliness, facing fears about being unlovable, resisting urge to immediately find replacement relationship. The ordeal is sitting with grief and examining their patterns without distraction or escape. The reward is self-knowledge, understanding what they brought to relationships' dysfunction, what needs went unmet, what they actually want rather than what they thought they should want. Road back involves applying these insights to life, setting different boundaries, making different choices. Resurrection is moment when old patterns arise and they choose differently, proving transformation has occurred. Return with elixir means bringing new capacity for genuine intimacy and boundaries to future relationships. Working with this framework requires recognizing what stage you're in and what that stage demands rather than trying to force progression. If you're in refusal of call phase, pushing yourself to cross threshold before you're ready often leads to false starts, where you begin the journey then retreat to ordinary world repeatedly. The work here is examining the fears that drive refusal. What specifically are you afraid will happen if you accept the call? What are you afraid you'll lose or have to give up? Often, refusal protects against confronting how much of your current identity and life would need to change. Journaling helps clarify whether you're genuinely not ready or whether fear is creating endless delay. Write about what accepting the call would require, what would have to die, what might be born. The distinction between not ready and avoiding becomes clearer through this examination. If you've crossed threshold and are in trials phase, the work is staying with the process rather than giving up when it gets difficult or expecting transformation to happen instantly. Tests are supposed to be challenging. Allies are meant to help but not rescue. Each trial develops capacities you'll need for the ordeal. Trying to skip to the end or decide the journey isn't working because it's hard means missing the point. The difficulty is the transformative mechanism. Tracking small changes helps during this phase. You won't feel completely different yet, but you'll notice you're handling situations differently than before, that new responses are emerging even if old patterns also persist. The transformation happens gradually through accumulated trials, not through single dramatic shift. If you're approaching or in the ordeal phase, the work is not avoiding it. The supreme test, facing greatest fear, confronting shadow, sitting with what you've been running from, can't be bypassed. Trying to go around it means remaining unchanged. The ordeal might be having the conversation you've been avoiding for years, leaving the relationship or job despite financial fear, sitting with grief or rage you've been suppressing, or acknowledging painful truths about yourself or your past. Support helps, but the actual facing must be done alone. After the ordeal, there's often temptation to immediately fill the space that's opened with new activity or relationship. Resist this. The period after ordeal is for integration, for allowing what died to fully release and what's emerging to stabilize before rushing forward. During road back phase, the work is bringing transformation into ordinary world rather than keeping it separate. Someone might have powerful insights during retreat or therapy, but then return to daily life and immediately revert to old patterns because they haven't practiced applying new awareness in actual circumstances. Small, consistent actions bridge the gap, using new boundaries in one relationship, applying new perspective to one work situation, choosing differently in one moment each day. These applications gradually weave transformation into fabric of regular life rather than keeping it isolated as peak experience that doesn't touch daily existence. Integration means recognizing the hero's journey isn't single event, but recurring pattern at different scales. You complete one journey, and after a period in ordinary world, new call to adventure arises, demanding next level of transformation. Someone might complete journey of career change, settle into new
work, then receive call around relationship patterns or health or spiritual development. The structure repeats throughout life, each cycle building on previous transformations. Understanding this prevents the trap of thinking you should reach permanent state of arrival where no further change is needed. The freedom to live that Campbell describes isn't freedom from future journeys, but freedom from the fear that makes transformation feel like annihilation. Each completed journey makes the next slightly less terrifying because you've died and been reborn before and know you can survive the process. The person who feels stuck in life has options once they understand this framework. They can identify which stage they're in and what that stage requires rather than judging themselves for not being further along. They can recognize refusal of call is normal first response to transformation, not evidence they're incapable of change. They can stop trying to bypass the ordeal and instead prepare for it, knowing it's necessary passage, not avoidable obstacle. And they can understand that allies will appear when needed, that the journey provides what's required, even when it doesn't feel that way, that the tests aren't punishments, but mechanisms of transformation. The hero's journey isn't metaphor for special people doing extraordinary things. It's the structure through which ordinary people become who they actually are, through which unconsciousness transforms into awareness, through which the small defended self dies and something larger is born. The journey will happen whether you understand the pattern or not. Life will keep issuing calls until you answer. But recognizing the structure lets you participate. Know which fears are guardians to be passed through rather than walls that can't be crossed. And remember during darkest phases that this too is stage and process. That death isn't end but transformation's requirement. And that return with elixir waits for those willing to complete the journey.